Death. That which both distinguishes gaming as a medium, meanwhile also that which breaks the flow and immersion of even the most prominent of video games. Is it more of a fail state or a meaningful moment? Gaming has typically involved an interactive story. Perhaps you, or an individual whom you control, is the protagonist. What happens then when you die? Does that mean the character is gone for good and you should simply put down the controller saying, it's over now? Or does the game simply say, bad luck, but this character somehow lives in an infinite amount of parallel universes, and therefore you can just keep going? I've often wondered how many Commander Shepards I got through before the universe was finally saved. How many choices I had to make perfect to allow him to live. Did I really achieve anything, or was it saved simply because we all had the ability to repeat segments time and time again, unlike a real human? Death, or at least a fail state, is what sets gaming apart, what brings excitement. Yet also personally it can be the single biggest immersion breaker in the majority of video games, aside from elevators that seem to go up out of a spire open to the elements into an iron fortress surrounded by lava. Admittedly, to some this isn't a problem. Many people simply care for the gameplay or the graphics, and you know what? Bully for you. Keep enjoying your beautiful visuals because that is what they're there for. Unfortunately for myself, and I'm sure many others, immersion is key. If you enter a game and there's an incredible soundtrack, excellent dialogue, or inspiring ambient sound and a story worth digging into, we cannot help but get sucked into a world despite, perhaps, wonky visuals or clunky controls. Yet even when all these things fit into place, I can't help but feel a pang of woe when the first death screen appears throughout my play session. There are not many games one tends to complete without dying a single time, and the ones that you don't tend to have pandered or handheld in some way. Yes, Skyrim, I'm looking at you. They can feel immersive as well, yet it often becomes too noticeable, which it was in Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, a game I have yet to complete after having been fed up with the constant marker following. It decreases the enjoyment by completely eradicating the chance to fail, therefore somewhat rendering the game pointless to play. I'm going to be honest, I love Dark Souls 1. It has a huge amount of flaws. The second half of the game almost ruined my immersion with copied and pasted enemies in vastly irritatingly designed levels. With spoilers. 1, 2, 3, a forced death. But the first half of the game, spoilers gone, up to Pikachu and Snorlax, is personally a near-perfect game, and one that still lasted a good 40 to 45 hours in my first playthrough. The true reason why I love it, however, is for immersion. Most mechanics are explained by the world and its story. Well, apart from the third-person view, and I'll get onto that later. Death is meaningful, not because it is hard, and not only because it serves as part of the game, as a failed state and as a way of learning. It is part of your progression. It is part of your character's story. You are afraid of the consequences, but when it happens, it doesn't break the flow of the game. The story continues, your character continues, the quest continues, the world continues, everything goes on as it always has. It doesn't take alternate universes for the universe to finally be saved. Unfortunately for video games, though, there is a need for diversity, and not every game can have a story involving repetitive death cycles. However, I feel like this is a time when developers and gamers can experiment with immersion in a variety of different ways, by explaining away the choices of each system, as opposed to doing it because it works. Take, for instance, third-person viewing. Perhaps I'm being a bit pedantic, but would it not be exciting to have a reason why sometimes you're in Adam Jensen's head, and sometimes you're floating behind his back? Sure, it works for the game, but for something like Deus Ex Human Revolution, they could have had a fun explanation, like a drone that he could use to see round corners. Not only would it be cool, but it would be immersive. You would feel even closer to the protagonist than you already are. It is understandable, however, for a character like Commander Shepard, as it is a clear statement that he is not you, but a representation of your decisions manifested in an already characterized human form. You never truly choose, but have the option to just make Shepard a little more personal, like Geralt in the Witcher video game series. At times, one forgets that he is not your own, but the creation of Sapkowski, which can lead to some moments of surprise at the lines that come out when you feel you've clicked an option that says something that could be interpreted in various ways. Yet even then, more alternatives for creative media can be made as opposed to simply building in terms of gameplay, because third-person shooting is popular, or everyone does it because it works. Yes, it does work, which is why we can now make it go even further. Don't break it, but give a reason as to why that foundation is being used and why it is so strong. I'm sure with our technology now, this is possible. It would make development more interesting and games more immersive. It would bring more thoughtfulness into the evolution of our favourite medium. Let this be the future of gaming and not mindless repetition of working forms. Feel free to debate below, for I would love to hear your comments. Lastly, welcome to my new channel. I hope you liked the first video. This channel will be dedicated mostly to gaming and anything else that seems fit. I also sing, read, and would love to begin vlogging. This next year, many projects should begin, including a couple of series playing different games, currently gathering dust in my library. I owe some good friends some time on many of them, all of which I've been dying to play. However, my main series should be coming this year and will be related to this video. Remember to like and subscribe. Good luck.